In the world of royalty, stories often simmer quietly behind gilded palace walls, concealed from public eyes until one voice dares to lift the veil. And now, the long-forgotten name of Eva Sannum, the Norwegian model once at the center of one of Spain's greatest royal controversies, has returned with a force that no one expected. In a devastating interview that has left Europe reeling, Eva has finally broken her silence, speaking openly about her past with King Felipe of Spain and his wife, Queen Letizia Ortiz. Her words, raw and unfiltered, reveal not only the human vulnerabilities of kings and queens but also the bitter truths of love, rejection, and ambition that haunt even the most polished royal images. For years, Eva Sannum was the ghost of Spain's monarchy, the woman who might have been queen, the love story that could have rewritten history, the figure who was ruthlessly sacrificed to maintain an image of purity for the crown. Spaniards remember the early 2000s when newspapers splashed her face across their front pages, questioning whether the son of King Juan Carlos could ever marry a model who dared to pose in lingerie campaigns. Felipe, tall, handsome, and destined to be king, was deeply in love, but Spain was not ready for Eva. The royal court despised her career, conservatives rallied against her, and the weight of tradition suffocated the romance. When the relationship ended, Felipe appeared stoic, but those close to him whispered of heartbreak. Eva, meanwhile, retreated into silence, vanishing from the royal stage with remarkable grace. For over 2 decades she remained silent, while Felipe moved on and shocked the world by marrying Letizia Ortiz, a divorced journalist with a past of her own, a woman whose presence at first stirred more controversy than calm. Now, Eva has returned to the conversation, her interview striking like a thunderclap, not because she seeks attention, but because her words cut directly into the carefully woven fabric of the Spanish monarchy. Her voice trembled as she described the pain of being judged not for her heart, but for her career. She admitted that love had been real, undeniable, and deep. "I was in love with Felipe," she confessed, in words that silenced even her critics. But her revelations did not stop there. Eva spoke candidly about the shadow of Letizia, revealing how difficult it was to watch the man she once loved stand before the world with another woman, marrying her in a grand royal ceremony while she herself was forced into anonymity. Her words carried no venom, no bitterness, but rather the quiet devastation of a woman who had loved sincerely and lost everything to duty. And yet, it is the contrast between Eva and Letizia that has stirred the public imagination most. Letizia Ortiz was also an unconventional choice for a future king. She was older than Felipe, she was divorced, and she was a career woman who had made her name on television screens across Spain. Many Spaniards now ask, if Letizia could become queen, why was Eva denied her chance? Why was one woman condemned and the other celebrated? Eva herself hinted at this contradiction, questioning the double standards of monarchy and the hypocrisy of royal image-making. Her words have reignited a stormy debate that Spain thought it had long buried. As she continued, Eva painted a portrait of Felipe not as a king, but as a man torn apart by the crushing weight of destiny. She described their private moments of laughter, of love, of longing, and confessed that he often feared he would never be allowed to marry for love. The heartbreak, she revealed, was not only hers, it was his as well. But while Felipe was forced to bury his feelings beneath royal duty, Eva was the one left to carry the scars in silence. Now, with the passing of time, she admits that her life turned a different path, one away from cameras and palaces. She built a quiet existence, one where she could finally breathe, but she has never been free from the knowledge that she was once so close to being queen. What makes this interview so devastating is its timing. Spain's monarchy is once again under scrutiny. King Juan Carlos, Felipe's father, lives in self-exile amid scandals of money and power. Queen Letizia faces relentless tabloid rumors about her personality, her marriage, and her ambitions. And Felipe himself, though widely respected, struggles to hold the crown steady in a time when Republicans are gaining louder voices. Into this fragile scene walks Eva Sannum, not seeking destruction, but with words so powerful they pierce through the facade of royal perfection. Her revelations remind Spaniards that the monarchy is built not on fairy tales, but on human pain, sacrifice, and choices that echo across decades. Spanish media has already erupted. Some newspapers hail Eva for her bravery, calling her a symbol of dignity. Others accuse her of reopening wounds that should have remained buried. Social media is ablaze with comparisons between Eva and Letizia, with many pointing out that Eva's grace and silence for 20 years demonstrate a class and restraint often lacking in today's royal stage. There is even speculation that Eva's words may alter public perception of Letizia, whose critics see her as ambitious, controlling, and hungry for power. Eva, in contrast, is seen as the woman who walked away, who refused to fight for a throne, who chose peace over ambition. And yet, as this storm grows, one cannot ignore the human tragedy at its core. Here is a woman who loved a man, and here is a man who loved her back, but both were crushed by the machinery of tradition. Here is a queen who wears her crown but must live with the knowledge that another woman once held her husband's heart. And here is a public forced to confront the fact that their kings and queens are not fairy tale figures, but fragile human beings who bleed, who cry, who break. The deeper one dives into Eva's words, the more haunting the story becomes. She described the loneliness of being thrust into the spotlight, her every gesture analyzed, her every outfit criticized. She confessed that her family was hounded, her career mocked, her privacy stolen. For her, love came at the cost of dignity, and when it ended, she was left not only with heartbreak but with the ruins of her reputation. Yet in the same breath, she forgives. She refuses to cast blame on Felipe, insisting that he was trapped by forces larger than himself. Her interview is not an attack. It is a requiem, a mourning of what was lost, and a testimony of what it means to love a man who belongs not to himself, but to a nation. And perhaps that is why this interview resonates so deeply. In Eva Sannum, many see themselves. In her heartbreak, they see the universal story of love undone by circumstance. In her silence, they see strength. And in her honesty, they see the courage to speak truths that others dare not whisper. What will this mean for Felipe and Letizia? Already, palace insiders report unease, whispers behind closed doors that the king is furious and the queen unsettled. For Letizia, whose reign has always been dogged by comparisons, this interview may reignite old insecurities. For Felipe, it is a reminder that the past cannot be erased, no matter how carefully it is hidden. The monarchy survives on image, but image is fragile, and Eva's words have cracked the surface. Across Spain, the debate rages. Was Eva the Queen Spain lost, or is Letizia the Queen Spain needs? And in that question lies the enduring fascination with this story. For once, again, the monarchy is not about jewels or palaces, it is about love, betrayal, sacrifice, and the unbearable weight of destiny. Eva's devastating interview is more than gossip. It is history speaking, it is memory haunting, it is truth refusing to stay silent. And as her words echo across Spain and beyond, they remind us of the cost of crowns, the price of power, and the wounds that time cannot fully heal. So as we watch Felipe and Letizia today, walking hand in hand as king and queen, we cannot help but wonder about the shadows that follow them, the choices that shape them, and the woman whose voice, after so many years of silence, has now changed everything. And perhaps the most haunting question of all is this: when love and duty collide, which should a king choose? So, my friends, what do you think? Did Spain lose the queen it truly deserved, or is Eva Sannum's silence-breaking testimony a reminder that destiny always has the final word? If you enjoyed this report, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment your thoughts below.